Hey there guys, Primus Reviews here, and today we are doing the worst figures I have reviewed on this channel so far, but 2022 edition. So the figures that I have reviewed only in 2022, but the worst ones so far. And I chose 5 of them because there was only 5 that I really didn't like, and honestly, I expected more out of them. So yeah. And if you guys haven't checked out the top 10 best figures that I have reviewed for 2022, please make sure to check it out. Also make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, make sure to turn on post notifications so that way you guys don't miss a single upload. But yeah, here we go. Here are the worst figures that I have reviewed on this channel for 2022. And yes, I know I'm late. Alright, you don't gotta rub it in my face, you don't gotta do all that. I know I am late, okay? Okay, here we go. Honorable mention goes to that first ever version of Dropkick because that figure sucks. It's literally one of the worst figures ever. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if they were high. I don't know if they were drinking. But what were they thinking with that figure? Take a look at our first figure here. Here we do have the Studio Series Shatter, the Jet version. Now, I know this was the second version of this Shatter, but honestly, I just didn't enjoy myself with this figure. The posability is not great. The screen accuracy is there, but what's the whole point of having a screen accurate figure if you can't even pose it to where it doesn't just look like it's just standing there and it doesn't have any movement. Like, I like my figures posable so that way I can pose them and make them look at least a moveset of what they did in the movie. But honestly, any angle that I pose her, it's just not great. The backpack, even though it is screen accurate, I still think it is really huge. And for my copy, it does weigh down the figure a bit, but I just didn't enjoy myself with this figure. And it sucks because she does look screen accurate. I think this is the best Shatter we've gotten. But I just didn't enjoy myself with this figure, sadly. So yeah, I guess it is what it is. But here was Shatter, so let's move on to the next one. Taking a look at our next figure here. Here we do have the Studio Series Jolt. Now, this Jolt was something else. We have been begging them for a Jolt for a really long time, a screen accurate Jolt. And when this guy was shown, he did look really cool, but right away we did see the flaws of this guy. What I mean by that, the backpack is huge. There are car parts noticeable on this figure. And the robot mode does look cool, but the moment you turn them just a little bit to the left is when you can see the problems with this guy. The posability on this guy is not that great, I am not gonna lie. I just didn't enjoy myself with this figure. I thank them for giving us finally a Jolt, but I don't know what they were thinking with this guy. Plus, the transformation into the car mode, you have a small space to work with, and that's something I did not like with this guy. Everything touches one another when you transform it, and you feel like you're losing your mind or something. I just really didn't like this figure in that way, but he does look cool. But I just thought I would have more fun with this guy, is what I'm trying to say. I really did think that I thought I was going to have more fun. But there has been Jolt, so let's move on to the next one. Taking a look here at our next figure, here we do have the Studio Series Ratchet. Now, I hate putting this guy here because I do love Ratchet. I just love the character, and I'm sad he died the way he did. But I just loved Ratchet. But this figure is not it. Now, screen accuracy wise, he does look really good, but there are just too many flaws with this guy. Number one, the number one flaw I keep hearing people say is the backpack. And yes, the backpack is bad. It does hinder posability, and yeah, it sucks. The next flaw I hear is the paint job, and yes, the paint job is not there. I wish he did have more paint and everything. I tried the best I could to make him look a little bit better, but the worst one I've seen are the legs, and yes, the legs are bad. What I mean by that, they are so loose. Like, he unintentionally does the splits, and that's what I don't like about this guy. A little force, just a little tap on the head, and this guy's already doing the splits, and he already falls. Like, I had a bad time with this figure, and it sucks, you know, it does suck. The transformation into the car mode is okay, you know, it's not too bad. It's nothing. It's nothing hard. It's honestly really easy, but it's just posing this guy is just not it. Like, the moment you feel this figure, he feels loose. I that's what I don't like about you know the figures whenever they do that. It just sucks. But yeah, sorry Ratchet, but it is what it is. But let's move on to the next one. Taking a look here at our next figure, here we do have the Studio Series Soundwave from Revenge of the Fallen. Now, the robot mode doesn't look too bad. The posability is actually not that bad, which actually is one of the shocking surprises of this figure. But I just didn't like this guy. Basically, they took the Transformers Dark of the Moon Soundwave, just remolded it a bit, and that was it. This is supposed to be the satellite version of the Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave that we did see in the film, but it's robot mode. Basically, it's its protoform mode. But you can tell right away that you can see the door hinges on his thighs. You can see the speakers on his forearms and stuff. And honestly, it doesn't look that great. And what is that blue? And now I get it. But it's his protoform mode. You know, it's supposed to be. You know, we didn't see it in the film. Guys, come on. You can tell right away that this is the Transformers Dark of the Moon version of Soundwave, but just remolded a bit, and that's it. Like, I don't like this figure. And honestly, he's a satellite mode. I think he should have been a Voyager class, but then that would have made sense with the Dark of the Moon version of Soundwave, which is the deluxe class, so I honestly understand. But I just don't know what they were thinking with this guy. I honestly don't like this guy, and it sucks, but that's the hard truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. So there you guys have that. Now, let's move on to the next one. Now, this is the worst figure that I have ever reviewed on this channel. And if you guys have been watching my channel for a bit, you guys already know who I'm going to say, what I'm about to say, but just a hint for you guys on who it is. Taking a look here we do have the Studio Series Cliffjumper. Now, when I say that this is the worst figure that I have ever reviewed and I didn't have a fun time reviewing, this is the guy. I had so many high expectations for this guy that when I finally got this guy, finally got him, I opened that box. I was so excited. I was ready. The moment I took him out, everything started going downhill. I don't like this figure. I'm being straight honest with you guys. I don't like this figure. And maybe it's because I set my expectations high on this guy. But you cannot tell me that a lot of people had high expectations for this guy. Finally, a Cliffjumper. Probably super amazing worthy Cliffjumper. A new design, a new mold. We are ready. What the heck is this? This figure all around feels loose. The thighs feel loose. Nothing wants to tap in. The posability on this guy is not that great because of how many loose parts there are on this guy. And don't get me started on that backpack. What the heck is that backpack? Now. I know what you're thinking. But the Bumblebee version of this guy had the same backpack and everything. And yes, I completely understand. But that guy didn't feel loose. That guy had better posability than that guy. And number 3, I honestly like that figure a lot more because it did all the right things that this guy did wrong. From the get-go, this is Bumblebee's mold, number 1. And I promise you, I bet you that they just wanted to test the waters to see what they would do with this guy. So that way they can have a vast improvement on the Bumblebee version. That way, Basically, this guy is like the prototype, and the Bumblebee is the final version of what this mold was supposed to be. And it sucks because they always do Cliffjumper dirt. It could be in a movie, it can be in a show, it can be in a figure. They just do Cliffjumper dirty all the time, and I don't know why Cliffjumper gets all the hate he does, but I just don't like this guy. Now the transformation is honestly very simple. I do like it. I do like the Cybertronian card that they did for this guy. I think it does look really, really cool. But this guy is not it. This guy does not feel right. This guy does not feel like how we thought he was gonna be felt. Pause. And plus, I don't know why, but on my copy, whenever I try to do ankle pivot, like, it's so hard. There's a lot of loose parts on this guy, and then when I try to do an ankle pivot, it's like so hard. I feel like I'm gonna break the foot, and that's what I don't like about this guy. There's a lot of things I don't like about this guy. And I think another thing that I don't like about this guy is the ankle pivot, because for my copy, I don't know why, but it's so hard to do the ankle pivot. I feel like I'm gonna break it, and it sucks because I want to pose this guy, but I can't because A, loose figures, B, super tight. I don't know why ankle pivot joints, and 3, just all in all, I just don't like this guy. I don't like this. I like legit honestly want to hear a sincere apology for them making this Cliffjumper, because they know what they were doing when they make this guy, because they got test people and stuff, and they test the figure and stuff, they pose them, and then they upload them on the web, so that way we'll be able to see the figure. They know what they're doing, guys. They know what they're doing, and they knew what they were doing with this Cliffjumper. They knew. So shout out to you guys, because you guys made the worst figure Cliffjumper. It couldn't have been anybody else, but you had to do it a Cliffjumper, huh? Well, other than that dropkick, I honestly, I think they were high when they released that dropkick, that helicopter version of dropkick. No one liked that figure. Literally, no one liked it. And yes, you guys are probably thinking as well, these are old figures. What about the new ones? Guys, this is what I reviewed so far in 2022. I just started YouTube, so that's one of the reasons why. But as the year goes along, I'm going to get the new figures and stuff, and then we'll go from there. But for now, these are the figures that I dislike, that I reviewed so far for 2022. Because now we're in 2023, you know, new year, new me. I hate that quote. Literally, who invented? But yeah, I don't know what to say. So recap of all the figures I hate. Well, not hate, that I disliked for 2022 are Ratchet, Soundwave, Shatter, Jolt, and last but not least, certainly the least, Cliffjumper. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry if you guys were disappointed. I'm sad. I'm sorry if you guys weren't expecting one of your favorite figures to be up here. But this is just my opinion. This is my list, and it is what it is. You know, it just sucks that it had to be these figures that got the worst end of the stick. But alright, guys, I think that's gonna do it here for me. So it's been Primus Reviews. That has been the worst figures of 2022 that I reviewed. So remember to stay calm and keep moving on. So I'll make sure to see you guys on the next one. Honestly, I can't wait to see what 2023 has in store for us, man. I really hope that there aren't as many bad figures as these ones right here. Certainly nothing can top Cliffjumper. Oh.